welcome. I'm Åsa from Berroco, and in this video I'm going to share some tips for how to knit block 1 of the cable Craze blanket. So for this first block, the pattern tells us to cast on 86 stitches using a long tail cast on. If you haven't used the long tail cast on before, it's really not that difficult. You want to start with pulling a length of yarn that's about 3 times as long as the piece you're making. So we know these blocks are going to be about 16 inches wide, so you want to triple that and maybe a little bit extra just in case for your cast on. You're going to make a slip knot. And pop that onto the tip of your needle and tighten it up. Now you want to have the tail of your yarn, the cut part, in the front, and the yarn that's still attached to your ball towards the back. You're going to put your thumb and index finger in between and grab onto it. To make your first stitch, you're going to put your needle under the first strand here in front of your thumb, over the next strand, and then grab that third strand that's coming off your index finger from above and pull it back out through the little loop you just created. Release your thumb and pull it tight but not too tight. If you lose your grip, you just put your fingers back in there, same as before. Let's do that again. You're going to go under the first strand, over the second, over the third, and grab onto it. Pull it back out through the loop. Let go. Now the slip knot counts as the first stitch, so we have 3 stitches so far. We're going to get to 86. All right, so now we have our stitches cast on. Let's look at the chart. So row 1 is actually going to be a wrong side row. It starts here on the left and is worked from the left to right. And as you can see on the wrong side, we're going to knit all the boxes that have the little dot in them, and we're going to purl all the empty boxes. So this row is going to start knit, knit, purl, purl, knit, knit, and so on. We're going to work up to the end of the pattern repeat. So we're not going to work this stitch. We're going to end right here and start over at the beginning of the pattern repeat. The stitches inside the box will be worked 3 times total, and then when you only have 1 stitch left, you're going to knit that last stitch. Now you're going to knit 2, purl 2, knit 1, and then start over here. And if you find it easier to keep track, you can certainly put a stitch marker in between each pattern repeat so you know when to start over. I'm just gonna keep going here. And I'm gonna just knit those last 2 stitches. All right. Now here on row 2 we have something different. So row 2 is a right side row. It is worked from the right to the left. So that means we knit the empty boxes and we purl the dots. But here we have something called a right twist. So it's just a 2-stitch mini cable. It says to knit 2 together, leaving stitches on the left hand needle, then knit the first stitch again before slipping stitches off the left hand needle. So let's take a look at that. So I'm going to knit the first and purl the second stitch. Knit 1, purl 1. Okay, so now I'm going to put the needle in like I'm doing a knit 2 together, from left to right through the 2 stitches. Wrap the yarn around, and of course if you're a continental knitter, but of course otherwise you would just wrap it like usual. Now bring it out, but don't pull the stitches off. Instead you're going to knit that first stitch one more time. So now you have 2 stitches here, and you can pull these 2 stitches off the needle. Let's get to the I'm gonna knit ahead to the next one and we'll do it again. And now we have that twist again, and I know it can be a little hard to see in this dark colored yarn, but put the needle in through the 2 stitches. You can see I have 2 here. Wrap the yarn around and pull it back out, but don't drop the stitches off. Now knit that first stitch and slip the stitches off the left hand needle. And that's all there's to that stitch. So you're going to complete the row. Like before, you're going to work up to the red bar and then start over, do this part twice more, and then knit that last stitch. Okay, so I completed row 2, and I went ahead and did row 3 as well, since it's the same exact thing as row 1. Now we get to row 4, so we have that right twist stitch again, and then we also have some other cables, so let's take a look. The row begins with a knit 1, purl 1. And then we have our right twist, so again, we're going to knit the 2 stitches together, keep them on the needle, and then knit just the first stitch and slip them off. Now we're going to purl 2 and knit 2. And then we have here our 2/2 right cable. So for this one, we're going to slip 2 to the cable needle and hold to back. We're going to knit 2 and then knit the 2 stitches from the cable needle. So slip 1 and 2. In the back and bring the yarn forward to work with. So knit the 2 stitches. And then we're going to knit the 2 stitches from the cable needle. So now we're going to purl 2, do a right twist again, purl 2, and then here we have our 2/2 left cable, this one right here. For this one, we're going to slip 2 to the cable needle and hold to the front this time, then knit 2 stitches and knit the 2 from the cable needle. In the front, and knit 2 stitches, and then knit these 2. So those are all the different cables in this block. Once you've completed row 6, you're going to start over again on row 1. You're going to work rows 1 through 6 18 times total. Then you're going to work rows 1 to 3 and then bind off on the next row. Thank you for watching.